In South Africa, coal and nuclear power stations provide baseload supply of electricity to the nation. Other types of power stations, such as liquid-fueled, open-cycle gas turbines, and pumped storage systems can be put into action very quickly to add electricity to the grid when the demand peaks. Today we're going to have a look at Letaba Power Station near Johannesburg and see how a coal-fired power station works. Coal-fired power stations burn coal to boil water. The resulting steam is used to turn a turbine, which causes a generator to rotate and electricity is generated. A coal-fired power station is normally situated close to a coal field to reduce the transportation time and cost of coal to the plant. Large amounts of water need to be pumped to the station for steam production and cooling. Letaba is located next to the Vaal River near Sasolburg and has a constant source of raw water. Approximately 120 million liters of water is taken out of the Vaal River every day. The water is boiled to superheated steam in huge boilers. This process is achieved by burning pulverized coal in the furnace. All water is treated and reused, so the only way that water can leave the plant is through steam evaporation, which can be seen as a white plume of steam at the top of the cooling towers. Each tower is 164 meters in height, as high as a 54-story building, with a diameter of 112 meters at the base, in which a soccer field can fit. Letaba Power Station has an output capacity of 3,708 megawatts, produced by 6 units which produce 618 megawatts of electricity each. Each generating unit can be operated separately. When the unit is in operation, a light burns brightly at the top of the boiler house. It takes an enormous amount of coal to keep the turbines turning in order to generate the amount of electricity needed in South Africa. The station draws its coal from the New Vaal colliery located nearby. In Europe, the desired calorific value or heat content for coal is 25 megajoules per kilogram, with an ash content of less than 10%. The coal used by Letaba is of a very low grade, with an average calorific value of 16 megajoules per kilogram and an ash content of 42%, but has the advantage of containing less sulfur than other coal types. If better quality coal was available nearby, the power station would need less coal to produce the same electricity output. The coal is transported to the power station by overland conveyor systems at rates of over 3,000 tons per hour. It's pulverized into a fine powder and fed into the burners. There are 36 burners per boiler. At full capacity, each boiler requires between 350 and 400 tons of coal per hour, and the station burns up to 50,000 tons of coal per day. The ash is removed from the boiler and stored in large ash piles. Fly ash is the very light ash that flies around in the air when there's a fire. Electrostatic precipitators have been installed to remove 99% of the fly ash in the air that results from coal being burnt in the power station. They use electrically charged plates to attract the ash, which is fed out of the bottom of the plant. The exhaust gases are vented from the top of the chimneys. Water is heated in the boiler, and the superheated steam is routed by huge steam pipes to the multi-stage turbine. The steam flows over angled blades inside the turbine, and the shaft begins to rotate. At operating speed, the turbines rotate at 3,000 revolutions per minute. The shaft in the turbine is connected to the generator rotor, spinning inside a stator, where electricity is produced. At full load, the generator generates electricity at 20,000 volts and at a current of 30,000 amps. Each of Letaba's 6 boiler turbine sets is run as a separate entity with its own control room and instrumentation. Electricity flows to a transformer where the voltage is stepped up to 275,000 volts. The power leaves the station via the high voltage transmission yard and is transported by power lines into the electricity grid to supply electricity to all parts of South Africa.